Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It is Mercedes. First things first, take a deep inhale in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. Shaking out all this stress. If you new here, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button and leave me a comment if you like the video. Throughout the video, whatever you think about, just go ahead and leave it in the comments for me. Today's video is going to be about self-awareness and self-reflection, so stay tuned. It's early in the morning, so excuse my voice, but today's video is going to be about self-awareness and how important it is in your life. Like I believe that most people aren't self-aware of not only their actions but of the world and how it's revolving and how it's working around them, because most people do not take the time to sit and reflect. And I believe that the only way that you will become more self-aware and understand not only how you're perceived by the world, or maybe how jaded or how you perceive things differently than others, is through meditation, through reflection, through just sitting with your emotions and your thoughts for a longer period of time to actually just work through those emotions and thoughts and things like that. So I believe that self-awareness is it's the foundation for whatever growth you plan on having in your life. If you plan on growing, if you plan on getting better at whatever thing that you're doing or however you want to be, self-awareness is key. Okay, there's no way that you can plan on getting better, growing, if you have no clue what you're doing in the first place. Whether what you think that what you currently are doing is wrong or something that you can improve on, you have to build that sense of awareness. You have to understand. You have to understand how you communicate with people, how you communicate with people, or how you work, or how you show up consistently for yourself, for others. You have to know these things. You have to have a sense of knowing first off in order to get better at it. And like I said before, the only way that you can do this thing is reflect on it. Sitting with yourself, sitting with your thoughts. I don't care how bad it looks in your head, and I believe that's why a lot of people run from it, because it looks horrible. When you sit down and actually look at how you work in the world, what you're contributing, sometimes it looks bad and people will just rather not even deal with it. So yeah, sit down and reflect on how you are in this exact moment, no matter what that looks like. Sit down and reflect on it, and that is your foundation to getting better. Like myself, I know that consistency is something that I must work on. And I know why consistency is such a hard thing for me to conquer. And a lot of times it's because of my fear of being seen. If I'm consistently showing up, people get to see me fully. They'll usually get to see who I am fully, and sometimes I just don't want that. And I can't tell you, I'm still figuring out why being seen is a fear. But what I do know is that it is. It's a fear. And this is the skin tint. Today I just don't have my stippling brush and I don't feel like getting it. And the second benefit of self-awareness is how it builds your relationships. If you are not aware and I've said this before, I've said this in a short form video, but the worst kind of person to be in any kind of relationship with is a person who has no self-awareness. They have no idea how their actions affect other people. They're the worst people to be in a relationship with. Because I don't know if it's because you know and you don't care, because most of the time that's how it comes across. You know that there's something that you can work on, but you don't care to. Or you have no knowledge of it because you put no time into yourself or how you come off. And who wants to deal with that? Who wants to deal with a person like that? So yes, self-awareness is key to having any kind of consistent relationship with anybody. Whether that be a child, a parent. No one wants to be in a relationship with somebody who has no clue how they come off to other people. Or like if you're having a conversation and you're not aware of your tone and how your tone can be offensive, or even if you're not trying to be mean, or if you consistently do that, if you consistently communicate with people like that, you will no longer communicate with people. People will start to dwindle away because you have no sense of how offensive your tone is. You've been speaking this way since you were a teenager and you're now 57 years old, and you think that it's still okay to speak to people the way that you spoke to people at 15. That's not how that goes. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with people like that. And it's just like no growth. You have no different words in your vocabulary. Because the first person that should notice that you have no change in vocabulary, you have no change in tone, you have no change, is yourself. And that comes from what? Say it with me. Self-reflection. Meditation. Because people can't teach you. A therapist can teach you. Let me say that. People can teach you how to gauge growth in yourself a lot of times, but we see a lot of people still ain't going to therapy. People still think therapy is only for cuckoos, when in fact you are cuckoo for not trying to grow. So yeah, there's that. And then the third thing is having a great sense of self-awareness brings you so much peace. And you want to talk about authenticity. It brings you so much peace simply because, for one, it's just confidence. It's a confidence builder because I now know who I am, how I come across, because I actually sit with this a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? I reflected on this. I know that I could have done this better. I know that I'm working on this attribute in myself. I know it for a fact because I sit with it a lot. Like, I'm aware of the issue. So no one can come to me and say, oh, you need to work on this. Oh, I've been working on this, child. And it will reflect. It will reflect in your everyday life and in your relationships with people. Something that you've been working on. And no, you don't have to announce it or anything like that. It will simply reflect. If you're saying, okay, I'm gonna strengthen my vocabulary. I'm gonna take some things out and I'm gonna add some things. People are going to notice that. You're going to notice that. I don't care. It's a confidence builder. Period. I have been working on this. I have been doing a better job at this. I have been working out consistently. It's the same thing. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you are not taking self-awareness seriously and trying to get better at whatever it is, any kind of growth, it'll show in your life. It'll show. It will show in your life. It'll show in your relationships. And most of the time, people who lack self-awareness, when things go wrong, when things go sour, they have no accountability either. Nothing is ever their fault. It's never something that they could have done better. And that's a fact. That is a Fendi fact. When people lack self-awareness, they also lack accountability. It's never them. And people who lack accountability usually lack growth as well. And that will also reflect in their life. So it's important in all to say, it's important to, one, take the time, prioritize self-reflection. Prioritize it. Like it should be a must in your day. Prioritize self-reflection. Prioritize self-awareness. Should you care all the time what people think? Or maybe you can't, because you can't control how you're perceived anyway. So that's not what I'm saying at all. But you should be so self-aware that you're confident in how you're perceived. You're confident that I didn't say this in a derogatory tone, or I didn't say this in a bad way, because that's not how I speak. That's not how I communicate. That's not my body language. So working on that and being consistent in self-awareness and self-reflection builds such a confidence in how, and people can tell that too. People can tell. You can, everything can tell. There's so much that can, it's so unspeakable sometimes, that people know when you are a person who practices self-awareness, self-reflection. They know it. It just bleeds, it oozes out of your skin, literally. There's no denying it, actually. This person is confident. This person knows themselves. They work on themselves consistently. It literally shows. But what did I say? That comes from reflection, meditation. And it affects every aspect. It affects your relationships, work relationships, platonic relationships, romantic relationships. It reflects all, it affects all of that. And if you don't plan to have these kind of relationships, then yeah, don't work on it. But if you plan to have these kinds of relationships, it should be something that you're working on all the time, because you can always get better. Look at that hair. Take the hair down. Boom. Okay? And we are off to work. We are off to work, girls. Let me do it. And going to work, I don't do a full lip. I'm just doing a e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip balm. Is this the Glow Reviver? No, this is the Glow Reviver melting lip balm. So that's gonna be it. Because usually it's enough. And it's pretty. Okay.